Hi everyone, welcome to this first look, especially first look for me, of the new Birmingham Cross-City line from Lichfield to Bromsgrove and Redditch. This was released today on the 19th of March 2021. I was just going to do this as a quick look, but as this is the first time I'm using it as well, I thought I'll call it first look, and we'll just do a quick trip from Redditch down to Birmingham New Street. The reason for doing that is I've kind of really got used to the open BVE version, which you can see a video that I did before the new year. That video of that route in open BVE, that route is 18 years old. So to kind of make these comparisons as we kind of look around the train, which obviously is a bit more difficult to do in open BVE, it's good to make these comparisons just to have a look. I've read some of the kind of reviews from people who looked at I think there was Dovetail did a kind of a little stream yesterday just to kind of look at the route, and a lot of people said the sounds are a bit rubbish, but overall the route looks pretty good. That's what I'm taking from it anyway. I mean, the train itself looks pretty decent, you know, as all trains nowadays do within the train simulator franchise kind of thing. So yeah, I think what we'll probably do is we'll just get going, and I'll explain a little bit about the route and the history of the route along the way. Like I say, I'm quite familiar with the route from open BVE, so I do know this was 20, but I think that might be different now. Let's have a look. I mean, first thing I'm noticing is there's no, well, if I press the right button, if I press F3, yeah, so it's now 30, it's 20 in the open BVE version. One thing I'm noticing is that there's not the wheel kind of squeal of the open BVE version. The pulling away sound as well just doesn't sound quite authentic, and yeah, the brake noise as well. I don't know. I mean, it might get better as we go along the route, I guess. I mean, the thing I love about this is just it's this single track overhead line, you know, a nice decent EMU to drive. It's quite good. I think a lot of people are kind of maybe going to hold back before downloading this to kind of see what it's like. As of today, it's £22 on Steam. Mainly I think because March Madness is on, so it's kind of got 10% off it. I did have a look through Dovetail Games site itself, and it was listed as €30. That's because I'm not in the UK at the minute, so it is being listed as €30 on Dovetail's site. But yeah, so paid £22 for it. I quite like this, that you can get a bit of speed up. Again, if I remember rightly, I'm sure this is limited to 55 on the original, but yeah, I might be wrong. I'm sure someone will comment if I am. But it's just, I mean, it's quite good to see this in Train Simulator. That open BV version has been around for so long, and I still think, I mean, it looks not half decent. This is new. So yeah, there never used to be double track. I do remember them putting this bit of double track in through Alderchurch, and then it goes back to single track. But obviously again, in the open BVE version, which I promise I'll stop mentioning, it is only single track because that's what it was 18 years ago, I guess. But yeah, I think we'll just do a run straight through Birmingham New Street. I'm not going to stop at any stations. I mean, I'll do some few cutaways, you know, I'll run the game again and pop some cutaways in there just so we're not staring out the front of the screen. Yeah, it's pretty good. I can tell you a bit about the route. So basically the line was first opened between 1835 and 1885. In the British Railway days, each half of the line to Lichfield, Staffordshire in the north, and Redditch, Worcestershire in the south, with Birmingham in the middle, was operated independently with drastically differing quality of services. It wasn't until the 1970s that a plan was put in place to revitalise the routes, involving a merge of services to form a single through line, reopening and rebuilding of stations and buildings, building new stations when required. You can't tell that I'm reading this, can you? The improvements were a success, however it wouldn't be until the 1990s where the biggest change occurred. Until this point, heritage DMUs were still employed along the line, but the 1990s would bring electrification. I hope I'm not going to get done for Bluetooth. This is just our first station. This is Alva Church, hopefully pronouncing that right. Again, in the OPV version, it's only single platform, but obviously in the past, you know, in the early VR days, I guess it would have been double platform, because you can tell that the whole line along with, you know, the bridges that obviously had double track through them, you know, and what have you. So it looks like we're going to go back down to single track, and we're coming up, and it's going to be a 40, I'm guessing, to Bond Green. So that's pretty good. Where was I? Yeah, the Class 323, which is one of my favourite looking EMUs. It's just the style, it's like that metro style that I quite like. So they were built in Leeds by Hunslet, who were mainly known for their steam locomotives of days past. The Class 323 is known as the Hyper Networker, owing to its similarities with the Class 465, which is also in Train Simulator and also in Train Sim World, if I remember rightly. The Class 323 remains in service to this day, having spent recent years in the distinctive London Midland livery, which is the only livery that it comes in today. But I'm sure the reskinners will be out there, and fingers crossed, putting on that original Regional Railways livery, which will be very cool. Yeah, that's not really much more. I don't need to tell you about the route and the trains much more than that. What I will tell you is within this DLC, you get career and rail mode scenarios. So there's 6 career scenarios, which are early bird, morning rush hour, up and down to the valley, across the city, snow joke, which I'm assuming will be a winter scenario, and the last train at Longbridge, which I'm assuming will be a nighttime scenario. And there's also 3 rail fan scenarios at Bond Green, Aston and Bourneville. That's obviously somebody texting me saying how much they're enjoying Birmingham. Hopefully, you know, the Steam Workshop will get into gear, and there'll be a lot more scenarios uploaded. So as we come round the corner into Bond Green, again, I mean, there's not the squeal of the rails as much, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, I'm guessing in real life that rail squeal is there. Maybe again someone can tell me in the comments, you know, if it is. Again, it certainly was in the Open BVE version, which I promised to stop mentioning. Promise. So yeah, so as we come around, what I'll also tell you as well, that this route is 37 miles long, or 60 kilometers in normal money. There's 25 authentically detailed stations. There are dense commuter services linking important interchange hubs and local communities. you can tackle the famed Lickey Incline, the steepest sustained mainline railway incline in Great Britain, which is a 1 in 37 for 2 miles between Bromsgrove and Bond Green, which we're not going on that bit. With your hard-earned cash, you get the 323 EMU in London Midland livery. You get a BR class 3501 and a 3502 and a 3503, all in London Midland livery, which you may already have from West Coast Main Line routes. Another AWS class 66 version 2, and you obviously get the 6 career and 3 wheel fan mode scenarios. Totally quick drive compatible, and it's almost a gig in size, so just make sure you have enough space for it. So as you can hear, I mean, the acceleration sounds, again, I don't know if they're more true to life, but I'm guessing not. I think it's a bit not very good, but I'm sure someone will do an enhancement pack, you know, like AP, Armstrong Powerhouse, maybe they'll do it, I don't know. So as we get up to speed, it's nice to kind of stretch the legs a bit of the train. I mean, it's looking very good. I can't really see anything about the look of it. It's quite good. I don't know what that noise is. I'll try AWS reset. Try the DSD pedal. Why we got beeping? What's beeping? If anybody knows in the comments. I don't know. Maybe I didn't press the DSDS pedal quick enough. What's beeping? What's beeping? Manual, I think. So I had a look in the manual and couldn't find anything as to why it was doing it. So I'm just starting again from Bond Green, because I don't know what that noise was. If you do, then you know, let me know, just for future. So yeah, so as we pull away again from Bond Green, again those kind of acceleration sounds aren't great. But it's quite a cool junction, I guess. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk for this whole next, 15 minutes all the way to Birmingham. But, talk amongst yourselves. Just to mention as well, system requirements for this. Should I do that? No, nobody needs to hear the system requirements for this. You just want to kind of look at the route and kind of judge for yourself whether or not you want to pay for it, I guess. Yeah. So a bit more on the line, I guess. So heading in the opposite direction to the way we're going, you would obviously get to Bromsgrove, and then ultimately to Cheltenham Spa and Worcester. The way we're going is obviously heading towards Birmingham New Street. The next station is Longbridge, and then it's Northfield, Kings Norton, Bourneville, Selly Oak, University, Five Ways, and then Birmingham New Street. From Birmingham New Street, you can obviously, there's lines to Wolverhampton and Birmingham International, and lots of ways to go. Like I say, I think this line continues up to Lichfield, if I'm if I'm right in thinking. I should really learn this kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. So we're heading to Longbridge now, where I think there used to be a car plant, which may or may not be there now. Just before arriving in the station, there was a connection to the car factory, which I don't think is there anymore. It'd be interesting to see if it is actually modelled on here. So we're slowing down in preparation for switching over to the slow line going through into the station. So that's only 30 miles per hour. There's also a siding just outside of the station as well. Obviously I'm guessing there are some trains that terminate, and there's one in there now. So this scenario that I'm running is just a quick drive. It's not any of the scenarios that come with the game. Like I say, it's just a quick drive one, just so I could kind of rocket through the stations and not really have to worry. So this is Longbridge, and yeah, there was a connection on the left hand side which isn't there now. Well, you can see actually there's some kind of remnants of tracks there, so that's quite interesting. So then once we pass this 70 board, let's get moving again. The next station down the line is Northfield. Now I don't know if anybody lives around Birmingham and or has travelled or even drives this line for their job. So it'd be interesting to find out whether or not it is accurate enough. It's interesting that only these kind of outside lines are electrified, and the middle two lines aren't. I mean, are they essentially freight lines that run down the middle, or just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm prattling on. So a quick look at Wikipedia. So a little bit of history about the Birmingham to Lichfield line, otherwise known as the Cross City line. On the northern half of the route, so the oldest section between Dudderston and Aston, which was part of the Grand Junction Railway from Birmingham to Earlstown, opened in 1837. This was extended towards the centre of Birmingham at Curzon Street the following year, and into Birmingham New Street in 1854. Curzon Street obviously due to be the terminal of High Speed 2 in the UK, or second high speed line after St Pancras down to the Channel Tunnel, which obviously St Pancras to Ebbsfleet is also available on Train Simulator and on Train Sim World 2. The southern half of the route, which we're on now, which was the Birmingham and Gloucester Railway, which was opened in 1840, following what is now the Cross City line between Bromsgrove and Kings Norton. Although this line ran to Curzon Street, later New Street, via what is now the Camp Hill line. So the Camp Hill line, you'll see, goes off just before Kings Norton. It just goes off on the right hand side. So that's pretty much where we are now at Kings Norton. So once we go through the station, I'm guessing the lines on the right is the Camp Hill line. I mean, I like it as well that the disused platforms down the middle, pretty cool. So yeah, so as we come around this corner, yeah, so those lines going off onto the right hand side, they'll be the Camp Hill line, and we're gonna take the other route through Bourneville and Selly Oak and what have you. The single track branch line between Barnt Green and Redditch was built in 1859 as part of the Midland Railway's Gloucester Loop line, which was closed south of Redditch in 1964. Just let that go Go past the Birmingham West Suburban Railway, taking the route of the cross-city line between Kings Norton and central Birmingham via Bourneville, which is what we're on now, opened its original terminus at Granville Street in 1876. It was extended into Birmingham New Street in 1885, and the Granville Street terminus then closed. The lines from Birmingham to Barnt Green and Redditch were operated by the Midland Railway, and the line to Lichfield was operated by the London and North Western Railway, so there were no through services. This continued despite the grouping of the LNW and the Midland Railway to form the London, Midland and Scottish Railway in 1921, and subsequently nationalisation to form British Railways. Prior to the creation of the cross-city line, the northern half of the route from New Street to Sutton Coldfield and Lichfield had a well-used regular suburban service, which had been switched from steam to diesel multiple unit operation in 1956, leading to a large increase in usage. However, the southern half of the route from New Street to Redditch was a different matter. In 1964, the closure of all the stations between New Street and Redditch, along with the branch to Redditch, was proposed in the Beeching Acts. They were reprieved from closure in 1967, going over the canal. However, the service was cut back to a handful of trains at peak times for commuters, which I'm guessing is what we're on. So Selly Oak, hello Selly Oak, goodbye Selly Oak, and we're now heading into Birmingham. Again, the canal down there, and we're just going over the canal again and approaching the University station. Again, as you can plainly see, just look at the bottom of the screen. So at the minute, just reading through class 66, really unique sound on one of those. Current services, so at the minute there is 2 trains per hour from Lichfield Trent Valley to either Bromsgrove, which is 1 train per hour, or Redditch, which is also 1 train per hour. This service also calls at Shenstone, which other services pass through. There's 2 trains per hour from Lichfield City to Bromsgrove, or 1 train per hour to Bromsgrove and 1 train per hour to Redditch. And there's 2 trains per hour from Four Oaks to Bromsgrove, 1 train per hour, and Redditch, 1 train per hour. I think that makes sense. So it sounds like there's 3 trains per hour to Redditch, or are they just all the same train? Again, I'm sure somebody will let me know. So we're heading towards Five Ways, which is again just on the outskirts of Birmingham. There's a nice gradient in, so it'll be interesting to see how the braking works on this class 323. Sometimes you can just apply that little bit of brake and it just slows it down enough. Other times it's hit the brake, take it off, hit the brake, take it off. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like. So we've got a 50 coming through here, dropping down to a 30. So we'll just apply a little bit of brake. So the brake is, the brake does seem to be quite strong. That's quite a brake in action, considering we're on quite a steep gradient going downhill, but we're down to 30 anyway, and just round the corner we should see Five Ways platform 1, and then it's into the little string of tunnels that's going to take us into Birmingham New Street. I think one thing that may do with creating my own scenarios for this is just have a look at what other kind of traffic goes through Birmingham New Street. Be interesting to see if we can get some Voyagers on here as well, just to kind of do a Voyager going in and out of Birmingham. That might be pretty cool. So yeah, you start going into tunnels where the speed will begin to drop down. So from just doing a bit of reading as well, it is saying that as part of the new West Midlands Trains franchise, the Class 323 units are going to be replaced by Aventras. So that'll be pretty interesting. There's also a single-tracked mothball line to the former I think it's pronounced Anglesey, but it may be Anglesey sidings, which was in use until 2001. The line remains in situ but rusty beyond repair. There is a possibility that the line which connected to Walsall from Lichfield via Brownhills and Pelsall could reopen, as Mayor of West Midlands Andy Street promised to look and make the reopening of the line feasible. Interesting. So yeah, it is a lot of kind of brake on, brake off, brake on, brake off. You need to just kind of drop down to 10 miles an hour coming in. I don't think I've ever been to Birmingham New Street in person, or shall I say in real life, but it looks like quite an impressive station. I know it's been done up since, you know, it was very kind of concrete kind of looking, and now it's all been redeveloped. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see a Class 350 in the platform there. Well, I actually can see two Class 350s and another 323. See, this has got a decent wheel squeal, if you like. It'd be nice to have had that at the beginning of the route, and kind of a bond green as well. But there's another 350 in there. Again, I think it'd just be nice, you know, to have a look at New Street, see what traffic there is, see if we've already got it modelled in Train Simulator, and yeah, get it applied to the route and get some scenarios kind of up and running for it. So as we come along into platform 8A, I think we just need to go a bit further along. We are only in a 3 car, so yeah, I'm guessing we can go right to pretty much where the signal is. Yeah, we're just coming to a nice slow stop here. So there we go. So this was just a kind of a first look, if you like, of the Cross City line that came out today. Hopefully you've quite enjoyed it. Obviously comment and dislike if not. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But hopefully we'll get some more videos done and out there for you, and we'll see you again soon at Railsin UK. Thanks very much.